Greetings, my beautiful people. This is Shezzy, raising the awareness with 10-star General and Sharon Mango. Tune in and keep it locked.
Struggle goes on. We are the builders of the pyramids. We are the builders of the stone cities of Zimbabwe. We build them White House. We build them factories. With blood, with sweat, with tears. With flesh, with bones. Them use to build them economy. Now them want come con you and me with them science and them technology. We make them take with knowledge. Now them are deafly. Them are blindly. We are walk, we are ride, we are drive, we are fly. Nah look, nah see. Eyes focus on the screen of an iPhone, Galaxy, tablet, Blackberry. Wake up, look. Uno no sister them are very weak. Ancestors crying out. Them are weak to see we heading back to slavery. Robotic, digital, technological slavery. The rich take them session, call it recession. Left the world in depression. Legal and illegal drugs and alcohol on the rise. In dear interest. To our demise, we patronize, now become marginalized. Make fools seem wise because we are by them lies and sell with lives. Prostituting our sons, daughters, and wives. Marcus did rise. Sam Sharp did rise. Google did rise, Taki did rise, Queen and Zinga did rise, Harriet Tubman rise, Rosa Parks rise, Malcolm X rise, Frederick Douglass rise, Ancestors rise, Eileen Thomas I-Maa-Ra rise, organize, mobilize, visualize. Stop look through for them eyes and through your own eyes. Give them back them gadgets. Free yourself from debt. The robotic digital technology of we are live on credit. While we learn our property, them take it, sell it. Guard your mind. Guard your children's mind. But we are a puppet government. Them ready to sell it. It's up to me and you to stop it. Come, make we leave. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on and on and on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on and on and on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on, yeah. The struggle goes on, well. The struggle goes on and on and on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on. The struggle goes on, well. The struggle goes on.
Wow, what a song, what a song, what a song from the revolutionary soldier himself. I-Maa-Ra in the building. Bless up yourself. May I forgive you the 10-star salute, sir.
Salute to you, sir. Salute, Sharon.
Yes. I tell you what, I've known you for
Good morning, salute. Blessings.
And in the building. How you doing, Shaz?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
I'm great. I was slipping a little bit earlier, but I had to correct it.
Well, that's what we're here for. We have to see what's going on, brother.
Yes.
Correct each other right there. That's what it is. Yes.
We have I-Maa-Ra in the building, the revolutionary soldier himself.
No. We have I-Maa-Ra. You know who that? I-Maa-Ra.
Yes, we're there.
Yes, we're there. We're here.
Yeah.
Blessed morning. It is an honor. It really is. Amazing vocalist. Amazing.
It's a joy to be here.
You're looking well, sir. You're looking very well. That means God bless you this morning and you have a purpose.
See it there? Exactly. And we are living our purpose.
We're living in our purpose. We're here.
Yes, yes.
You know, see him ready for buckle. You know, see it.
At all times. Always training.
In his revolutionary gear. You know, see it.
Always training. You see that? Never stop learning. You're always training. Yes, sir.
Well, it's good to connect with you from the sunny side of Jamaica. I-Maa-Ra, I've known you for a long time, and you've been consistent with whom you told me you were and what I've seen you to be. It's nice to connect with you right now, all the way from the sunny side of Jamaica. What part of Jamaica are you in right now?
Well, the sun just start peep out. This morning, I get up, so I go look some moringa seed and moringa bush. I get a nice wet up from the rain.
Oh, it's rain, right? Yes.
So, you see blessing just flow this morning on me, you know what I mean? It's a long time rain wet me up, you know. So I go and do a nice little jogging in the rain before I come on, you know. So it's a beautiful vibes, you know, with a full joy life, you know. One time.
Where are you? Are you in St. Thomas? Where are you, sir?
No, I am in Falmouth, Trelawney right now.
Oh, Falmouth, okay.
Yeah, that's where I reside for the past maybe about 6-7 years now.
Okay.
Nice. Paint a picture for us of what Trelawney, Falmouth is like.
Yes.
Well, Falmouth is one of the fastest growing town now, you know. A lot of brand new community building up. Just across from me, you have what we call a mini stadium. You know, they built that stadium when the 2007 World Cup cricket was going on. So it is right across from me over there. I am living on the hills. I'm looking down on the pier. The pier is where cruise ship comes in, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I am looking on the pier from where I'm at on the hill. I am at Guides, see? So it's about 5 minutes from my home to the town of Falmouth. You know, so you have a major development taking place recently. You have a supermarket and KFC, all sort of things. So Falmouth is one of the fastest growing town, and you know, is a town where you see is a parish. Well, call it the parish. Trelawney is a parish where UCN Bowl come from. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, it's a part of it is a part of the cockpit country, you know. So there's a lot of historical value. You have the I-Maa-Ra about 10 minutes away from me, where the rafting happens on the I-Maa-Ra. So, you know, Falmouth is a beautiful place for everyone to come and just full joy. You know, we have a local radio station here called Fit FM, you know, doing well, you know. So, yeah, man, it's a beautiful town. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, we're going to kick off the show. I'm going to get Sharon to introduce herself, and then we'll begin.
Good morning again to one and all, and a blessed morning to you, I-Maa-Ra. It's truly an honor to have you in our midst. You are truly an amazing individual, and we're about to get into your life. So I am Sharon Mango, representing SBRB Radio and World Blend Productions, and again, it's a pleasure and an honor to have you with us this blessed morning.
Happy to be here.
Yes, sir.
That's the reason why I keep on bringing I-Maa-Ra back to my show, is because we're living in serious times. He's been singing about it for years, and I'm seeing a lot of what he's been singing about being played out as we speak here today in our society. I call him the revolutionary soldier, you know. There's only one man I knew as a revolutionary that I knew personally, and that was Bunny Ruggs. I keep speaking of his name, and that man was something else, you know, just to know his mindset. And then here I am, seeing played out before my eyes, and I can say it for myself. A real revolutionary soldier, not just in his mind, but in what he believes in. And we just want to dig into his early life to where
Yes, we do.
he begun and to where he is today. So I'm going to let my co-host Sharon Mango kick off the show right now. All right, so Sharon, take it away.
So, I-Maa-Ra, we want to know your humble beginnings, where you were born, your mother, your father, brothers and sisters, your inspirations, school life. Start from the beginning for us. Let us know who I-Maa-Ra is.
All right, so it's a whole heap to explain. I maybe take out the whole
All
show.
right.
Anyway,
Okay.
I'm not sure I can pack it in, you know. I was born in the eastern part of Jamaica, St. Thomas, in a little maroon village we call it Ruin River. Ruin River is a village where you don't have any vehicular traffic to traverse because we don't have that kind of road. So we traverse our traveling with the mule, donkey, our walk. That is how we live, you know. It was a farming community. You know, that community was developed through the resistance of my ancestors because they ran away from the plantation of Potosi, you know, in the Plantain Garden Valley, the plantation of Sunninghill, the plantation of Ladysfield, and they escaped and go up into the hills and live in and develop this little village that they call Ruin River. So within Ruin River, we have different names for a district. We have Content. I was living at Content. You have Charity Spring, you know. You have Forsyth Hill, you know. So all of these little communities, but we were just one family, one people. You know, it's a communal community. We look out for each other. You know, we have to cross many rivers. You know, I don't know, but it happened that I used to live right in the middle of the community. So I have to cross more rivers more than anybody else. So whenever the rivers are in spate, you know, I have to find myself, and most time I either on the other side, you know, at Mass Brunel. Brunel is the great grandfather of the popular artist that we call Popcorn. See? So I and his father go to school together, you know, and his grandfather was like my godfather. So that's the community I grew up in. You know, my grandmother and my step-grandfather. I grew up with one brother, you know. My brother was there with me, you know what I mean? So that is a part of the journey. Let me just deal with this thing and just start it out.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Me lock off the phone.
No problem.
No problem.
Right,
No problem.
So your brother's still alive?
No, he died tragically. He's one of my brother who, you know, unfortunately, you know, somebody killed him, you know. So I was literally a witness to that, you know. So it was
condolences, brother.
I have two brothers that went that way. So, you know, but that one was my closest brother. We slept together on the same bed, you know, we share things together, and you know what I mean? So he was the one that was always there with me. My grandmother, she deceased now. My step-grandfather also made the transition. So that's the community. But the beautiful thing about the community, we eat, we have many dinners, we have many breakfasts, breakfast, you know, because you know the system work. Because of how we separate. When we cook, we don't just cook for who is at home. We cook for whoever may pass by, you know, and that is how the community operates. You know what I mean? So we live in that kind of community, you know.
What was Papa like? Sorry.
Pardon me, I didn't get that.
What was your father like?
I didn't meet my father till me a 26-year-old, you know.
Oh, wow.
So I grew up with my grandmother and my step-grandfather. Okay. My mother was living in, in Kingston,
Right.
So
Right.
I would get to visit my mother on holidays time, you know what I mean? So most of my life is always my grandmother and my step-grandfather. My step-grandfather, we call him Kadusa. He was a Karamanti priest, and he was also a healer, practice herbal healing, and he was also a seer, what we call, some people call shaman now, is a term that people use as shaman, see, you're a certain...
You're opening can of worms. Sorry to butt
Yes,
in.
sir.
I know your segment, but the man are open can of worms right now. Me hear the name Caramanti. Now I know a sister who is a promoter and an artist herself in Jamaica, and her name is Caramanti. And she told me about the Caramanti tribe, and I know it's a tribe, right?
Yeah. In my community, there were maybe about 4 of that kind of personality. My grandfather, next man we call Mas Sammy. We have a next brethren we call Mansell and Mas Vivian. And the elder for them all was the man who then claimed born me. If you understand when they say somebody born, it's a man named Robert Sarchwell. See? So he was the one that energy and vibration came through, how to use the herbs and heal people, how to communicate within the spirit world, he could see things before they happen, you know what I mean? So my step-grandfather now was like the main figure in the community after that person made the transition.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a tribe, as we say, it was a maroon community, up till in the 80s, maybe about 1981, 82, when I moved out of the community, our means of communication was still the abeng. The abeng would blow whenever you want to call a meeting, when somebody's sick, when somebody's dead, this is what we use the abeng to do, to call, to order, you know what I mean? Or to communicate. So
continue, Sharon.
Yes,
It's your segment.
Yes, continue.
Yes, so as I said, I never meet my father. I met my father when I was 26 years old. At the time I have my first son. My son was about 3 or 4 years old when I have my
Wow. And because he was never, like, how come when you were 26 you met him? Was it your decision to meet him?
Well, that was one of my struggles as a young man growing up, you know what I mean? Because wanting to meet my father, don't know my father, and I met my grandmother before I met my father, which is my father, mother. See, I met my uncle. My uncle is the one who spot me and said, Leroy picked this,
Yes.
So I went and I lived with my uncle for a while. And I met my father, which was a popular man in St. Thomas. They call him the Black Jew because he was that kind of man. Every day you see him in a jacket and in tie, no matter how sun hot, I saw him dress, you know what I mean? So when I met him, he embraced me, and I, realized that it was something that kind of, it was a struggle within my mind, because we still not meet my father, and that is the thing I would like most of all. And then, eventually I met him, and when we meet, we just sit down and talk, and the first question I asked him, I said, so what can you do now? There's nothing you can do, because I'm a grown man, and I must say, yes, I understand, and we develop a good relationship, and then it took off again. I never see him till maybe about 6 years times. The guy lives in Canada, and that is the kind of vibration, and we just realize it's just he's a beautiful person, you know, wonderful spirit, but he don't know what commitment is about, you know. He don't know about that, you know.
Right.
Just float along. I just him that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And just realize who he is and accept him for who he is and just deal with him when we find him and when we and him are deal, you know what I mean? With respect.
So tell us about school. How were you in school? What was your school life like? What did you want to be in school?
Yeah, well, school was an uphill task. Is that, you know, in and out, you know, because of where I grew up. So I walked 5 miles to school, 5 miles back, you know. And that's barefoot, you know, so we have to walk trod on our foot then, you know. Wow. So it was kind of challenging. And it's a farming community. My grandmother go to market on Friday and she don't come home till Saturday evening, you know. So from Wednesday, the preparation for market started, you know. So you're going to go bush and you're going to cut banana, you're going to dig renter, you're going to dig dashing, cocoa, you know. So we have one donkey and the donkey for help transport the market goods. Now, me and my brother now, I have to go fall in. So, you know, say, sometime Thursday, so it's maybe 3 days for school. You know what I mean? Some of the time. So, Friday school is a no-no. Thursday school is maybe. It all depends. You know what I mean? So, schooling was kind of in and out for me, you know? And which it was surprising to even see how I turned out, you know, after I reflect sometime in my life and realize, you know. And I stopped going to school at age 13. Okay. You know, and the other part of my schooling was like politics. So I got involved in politics at age 15. Wow. You know, and there is where I really start to read deep, you know, because even though I wasn't going to school as often as I should, I kept searching myself, you know. I recognized that I am a brilliant man. I realized that, you know, as a youth, I realized that early, you know, and the teachers who came in contact with me always said to me that you are very brilliant, you know. So that is how schooling for me. And then when I went to work at Berger Paint, I was working at Berger Paint in the 90s. And then my supervisor was having this conversation and we used to reason about politics. And then one day, me and him sitting in his office and he was saying to me, so, oh, you didn't carry none of your credential to me. And I say, like what? And he say, your passes, you know, and I said, no, I'm none of them things. And he said, what? You know, because I was like surprised to know that I never have, you know, any form of accreditation pertaining to, you know, GCE and their CXC passes, none of these things, you know. So when he realized that, he said, no, man, this can't be, you know. So he said, boy, I want to send me to some evening classes. Well, I was so deep reading other things that I decided to say, yo, we can't take on this right now. So the other school may end up is Edna Manley College. So as I said, I went to Airfield All-Age School and just spent from age 7 to 13 years old. So just understand that. Wow.
It's interesting to know at that age, 15, what was it? Your surroundings? Was it just awareness? How did you get into politics at that age? What was it about politics that, you know what I mean, got you so interested to start deeply researching life and stuff, you know?
You know, the music is a part of it. You know? It's when Bob Marley died in 1981, right? And I started to listen to the revolutionary expression through his music.
Okay.
And then about 1983, 84, there was this artist rise, you know, Half Pint.
Oh, yeah.
Half Pint was also expressing some political views like money in the pocket for the upper class, you know, and we were going through struggles at the time. We were going through struggles. It was after the 1980 election, and things weren't that beautiful in Jamaica at the time, you know. So I was listening to Half Pint, and I was surrounded by some brethren, some activists, and somehow it's like them pick up certain energy, you know. And they were a part of a movement named the WPG, the Workers' Party of Jamaica. You know, it was more aligned as a leftist party into community and things. So I started to dig deep into it, and I became one of the person who they used to have some tabloids that they call the Struggle, you know, where they would put out their bulletins and thing, and you know, I was one of the person who used to go around and sell them and introduce people to them, and you know, and was just reading, and they had a office up by 51 or 52. I don't remember the exact address. Maybe it's 50 Lady Musgrave Road. But there were so many books about the revolutionary struggles in South Africa. You know, Thabo Mbeki, Walter Sisulu, Oliver Tambo, you know, Stephen Biko, Nelson Mandela, you know, and what was happening all around Southern Africa, Swapo, you know, Samuel Majuba, that was his name. So I just started read deep and got very involved in that political process, you know. So I really become like a political creature. Even at the time I was still in the music. So that kind of mindset, you know, connecting the music with the struggle of the people, and finding myself, knowing that it is a journey with my ancestors as well, who the struggle of resistance, see, is always in our blood. It's not like it's something that I am trying, because to escape off the plantation and to go and create a village and to develop a community for ourselves and become self-sufficient was something powerful, and that inspired me, you know. So I believe politics was always in my blood.
Wow. Let me, before I hug the mic, 10 Star, I'm gonna ask him this question, then you're gonna, because I could talk to this man all day. It's just so interesting. So, okay, 15, we asked you about the politics. When did music become a thing for you? Was it the Bob Marleys that inspired you? Were there any other musical individuals around you that got you into the music at that young age?
The reality, my grandmother was like, you know, she was a powerhouse.
Okay.
You know, you see, every time I, you know, reflect on my grandmother, it touch to the core, you know what I mean? Because there's so many things that, you know, start to come forward in the events about her. My grandmother, when my grandmother whistle, you can hear her several meters down the road.
Whistle?
Whistle.
Wow.
Right? And she have this kind of vibrato voice, you know? And I remember she always raised this song in church. Amazing grace, so sweet the sound of saved a wretch like me. And when she hold that, you know, church flat. Just those first note and church flat. And as me talk, chills are run through the church is flat. You know, and she was somebody who always a sing. You know? And I discovered that my mother have a beautiful singing voice. It's just that she never take it that serious.
Mm-hmm.
So listening to my grandmother singing all the while, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and singing all the while, that is the early part of me, you know. But when Bob Marley died, that now struck me to the, you know, to a different level, because I heard his music constantly playing on the radio. And then, you know, that sparked an interest inside me now, you know, it is like ignite the musical fire inside my soul. And I say, yes, you know, this is something I really want to do. And then, as I said, half pint now, when I hear half pint and Juna reading something, I say, no, that's one of the time it starts sound like half pint. It's really a mentor, you know, that brethren, they were really inspired me, you know. See? So that is how the music really, really started, you know.
Okay, 10 star, because I'll take it over.
Don't mind know it. I tell you, I-Maa-Ra, I want to take you back slightly because you mentioned the father not being there and you met him later on in life. However, I want to take you back to what life may have been like living as a youth during your early years. Was it a struggle or were you just getting by? What was life like?
As I said, just imagine, you know, sometimes when I try to tell people these things, just imagine that you're in a community. We don't know nothing about television. The only thing we have was a little radio, you know, and is a donkey and mule. Wherever we go, we have to walk miles. You know, we just want to paint a picture that you observe it, you know. School was miles of walking, so it's 10 miles per day, right? Now, to get any farmer thing from the shop, or anything you want by a shop, is miles, maybe 7 miles, or the same 10 miles in the community where the school was, right? So when my grandmother went to market on the weekend, she have to buy everything. We're going to stop right back till the next weekend. And like say we have a next shop. No shop in the community where we live. You know, nobody not sell anything here. It's just farming, you know. And I remember planting my first farm at age 12. You know, banana, cocoa, dashing, you know, planting. You understand? At age 13, I plant the first, what them call cannabis farm. See?
Are you with that?
Yeah, we are sure. That's the reality. At age 13. See? There was a brethren, you know, when named Everton Philip. You know, he's a cousin of mine.
Yeah.
And on a Saturday morning, we'll just go to the field and we'll go plant carrot, right? And we'll plant the carrot, would come to the river. There's a little spring what we call it, Charity Spring. You know, it is from the community, but the spring owner would have black off the spring, and would have, when we reap the carrot, would throw the carrot in the water and would wash the carrot and make sure it drain, and then would have pack them and dry them and carry them go sell. Then I would walk from St. Thomas to Portland for sell mango through the hills where them call name Lookout Point. If you hear one song we just released what they say, from Lookout Point to a compound town. Lookout Point is a real struggle because Lookout Point is where Nanny and her warriors used to come and look out and know when the British would attack. So that whole history and that whole struggle, you know, not knowing my father in any of that journey was something as a loner. So I want to tell you, all of my life, I was more like being alone. But being alone, sometimes it is not like I am alone. If you pick up on me.
Okay, so let me stick up here for a second.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to get to was there a yearning for
For what? For what?
For father. If your father wasn't
No, it's like,
consistently there, I'm asking, was there a yearning for your father to be there, or were you just consumed with where you mentally were at the time trying to survive?
psychologically, not knowing him, it was always at the back of my mind. But my step grandfather was already my father, you know. So and like one of them, they were no father figure in the house, so you're all about place. So I still grew up under certain orders, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I would say I have many father, you know, because as I say, Popcorn great grandfather was like a father figure to me. His grandfather was a father figure to me. Mas Calbert was a father figure to me, you know. So we have a community of fatherhood. You understand?
I'm with you.
Yes. So, but as I said, at the same time, I was this loner who will take away myself from everybody. I remember a particular spot where I used to go and sit down and literally explore myself, physically, mentally, spiritually. You know, I didn't want anybody around. If I'm traveling or walking, I don't want people to interfere with me. You know, so I was always questioning life, questioning myself, and looking at things and nature and trees and, you know, so that's part of my journey. Catch, you know, just be creative. Set choke if you catch bird, you know, go riverside, go catch janga, you know. These are some of the things that I've been through, will help to shape my independence as a human being and to prepare me for life, you know.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And the reason why I ask you that question is because me and you share similarities in that front. And while yours was your father, mine was my mother. I grew up with my father, but not knowing my mother at the time.
Wow.
Eventually, I got to know my mother, who I love and adore and have been able to forgive. You understand? But during the early years, it was a struggle for me. Yeah. So I know it couldn't have been easy for a kid to grow up, especially without his father.
Yeah. You know, and as I said, when I met him, you know, it was just this in and out, you know. And recently, last year is one of the time I really got to sit with him, you know, and man and man, you know, because I am seeing him now as a 74-year-old man, and he still a behave like a 16-year-old, you know. So at this point, we have to try him up and I say, you know, man and man, you know, what you really do with your life, you know, because I have brothers and sisters. Why don't meet yet? You know, I'm gonna see him make no effort for that happen. You understand? So that was another thing that's, you know, and then his absent moved me now to become more self-centered and the conscious and the aware of what family structure supposed to be like. So I made a commitment from then that I will never ever allow that to happen to none of my children. You know? So then I left me youth them.
Now you're talking to me. Now you're talking to me.
Then I left me youth them. You see, the funny thing, you know, I become a father figure when I was 17 years old. My eldest son mother, I met her when I was 16, right? And when I met her, she had 2 boys. And by 17, me and her lived together before my son came into the picture. So I literally started to be a father figure for those 2 boys.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, but from that time, you know, I just decided that I am going to break the cycle. You know? So even though my father was absent, I decided that I would be a father figure because my first son mother is like the same thing. She have two baby father and they weren't just about them business, and she was like alone with the two youth, you know. So at 17, at 16, 17, you know, I fell in love with this lady. She was 4 years older than me. I was 16, she was 20 when I met her, you know. So that's how my journey started, you know, like a part of my journey to be like a family man. And from ever
You
since,
had to grow up real fast, right?
Really fast.
yeah. So if you me have 3 boys, biological sons, see? Plus my wife son. So I have 4 boys, see? But my first son is 15 years after, before I, you know, have another son.
Yeah.
You know I mean? See? And then is about maybe one who is 10 now.
Right.
Was who is 20. He's 10 years after. You know, so you still pierce them out.
Pierce them out.
Yeah. We decide to watch out. They just want to make sure, say, if we don't even have the wealth to support them, but my presence must always be there.
Amen. Right. Amen. Amen. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And I really do applaud you for what I've consistently seen you doing, but we're going to get to all that. Now, I wanted to lead this conversation now to how music became a part of your life and where your influences came from and what made you want to get into music, you know, itself.
I just love this thing from early out, you know, and then after I moved from St. Thomas, I came to Kingston just after Gilbert. Gilbert was the 12th of September, 1988, right? And I went to Kingston at about October, right? And I was there, you know, just going through, you know, not a struggle. So all sort of things now start to come at me because emotionally me separate from my brethren them, you know. At age, 21, right? When I went you know, to reside with my mother, and my mother never really want to bring me in, you know, like she has said, why, you know, she now have no way for me stay, and it's like me decide to me have to go just be tough. And I said, well, me now go nowhere, you know, because all these years, you know, you are away and now me need your help and you have to tell me say you can't, you know. So I tough it out around my mother, you know. And then I realized that the survival thing now. So I'm in Kingston 20, which is around me is the toughest of community. And because of my political connection from them time, I realized that, you know, it's survival now. So I start to align myself certain ways. And that alignment, I go take me down a road where I don't really want to go anymore, you know? And then some brethren spot me on a corner one day. But these brethren were some brilliant brethren, you know. It was a brethren who owned a newspaper, a community newspaper at the time named Boulevard News. They call him Ben Brody, and another brethren from Trenchtown named Fred. So they saw me on a corner and then come check me the day and said to me, say, boy, we see you upon the corner here. We have to do this so. You know, and I say, well, we know the man there for a while. And I say, but the man there, oh, you know the man there. And I tell him and I give him the history. And them I said to me, say, no, sir, we don't want you to go down the line. You know? So they end up a verge of paint. See? But before that, you asked me about the music. I have this one song, which I just remixed and released. See? It was more than one still, you know, but this song was always a part of me because it was an experience. Iron Bars. I wrote that song while I was in jail. See, that is how that song came about. So I remember Sunday morning, I was living at 96 Yamolines Road. I sat on my veranda. And when I looked, I saw a brethren named Jim P come through the gate. And he came up to me and said, "Is you me come find out?" And I said, "Why no?" And he said, "We have some studio time on Channel 1. I'm here with a song, that's why I come check you." So I sit down and I look at him, you know, and I say, "But you just come from me sudden, so I'm not prepared for that, brethren." And I say, "Come, man." You know? So, you know, he did it and he said, "Go put on your clothes and come, you know, I'm never even ready." And the man sat patiently and, you know, wait on me and me just put on my clothes and chat with him. When I went down there, when I went to Channel 1, I saw young youth then, Georgie from the group named Firehouse Crew and the bass player, Danny Bass, you know? And they have this rhythm of playing at the background, you know? And Trees did have a tune on the rhythm. Where I don't see you, I say, "Oh, no leave, give me the island, oh, become a bread for touching me." Where I don't see you, you know? So, let me say, why you go on a rhythm, you know? First in my life in this massive studio. So I said, when I go sing on it, because the rhythm was like, you know, moving. And Iron Bars was like a little bit laid back, you know? So I went around and I sing, "The girls that nowadays are advertising body, advertise them body. And we are so short things and I export," you know what I mean? So I love it. Them love it and them take it. So the brethren said to me, say, "I know that tune them want still, you know, that tune they bad, but another one them want. Why you sing Iron Bars?" So I sang Iron Bars and the rhythm. Months after, you know, when I hear nothing until one day, I see him come check me and say, "General Trees want to see you, you know." He said, "General Trees want to see me."
The lyrical dada.
Yeah. You know what I mean? General Trees, you know, so that kind of lit my head. And then he said, "Come man, I'm going to check." When we go on a Sunday Lane, I see Trees are in gate. And the brethren, his name General Force to the I was General Trees' uncle. So you have General Trees, General Force, and General Tools. See? Okay. So him said to me, say, "Tree," he said to Tree, said, "See the artist I was singing the song?" And Tree said, "Yo, are you sing the song, the youth?" And then I said, "The song they are big tune, you know, it have a bus, you know, you." Yeah? And then he said, "Maybe call Tapper." And the brethren was a producer. It was the label was co-owned by two of them, you know?
Right.
Jim P and Horace Tapper. Saying call Tapper and he said, "Tapper, I have Senator Gary, you know." At them time, I never knew I-Maa-Ra yet. I Senator Gary.
Senator Gary.
He said, "I have Senator Gary, you know."
Okay.
I want you give Senator Gary some strength, you know, that tune you go bust the youth, you know. So there's all the tune, and the tune started to get some earplay, you know, and Richie B, I used to play it because the producer and Richie B was like classmate and schoolmate, and so there was a little buzz a go on for me.
Right.
From this, so I just saw the music really start, the recording, and you know, get into it serious, you know.
Wow. What a journey. And so what was the next step for you? You know, leaving school, was music the only thing you wanted to do, or did you know from an early age it was all about music, or did you want to become something else?
As me tell them, he's a political activist. There was a time when them did a line me up to send me go to Cuba. That was how militant I was, you know,
Right.
because even I grew up around some elders, right? And those elders respect me so much, like them even take advice from me. That is how serious was it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because them see me as this militant youth where they can't get in my head. No man can push me, say, "Go do that thing, I'm going to do it."
Right.
You know? So it's like them admire my toughness and my firmness. You know, I could remember a brethren try intimidate me one time. You know, after them send me go to a conference as an observer, a private session at the conference. And the brethren came now and like him up, try to intimidate me. And I say, you can't intimidate me, you know? So the whole strength within me from them time there, you know, wanting to not just change my life, but I was also looking around me and recognize that the infrastructure that was in place, you know, wasn't something that is going to bring about that fundamental liberation that we are seeking to attain. So I am looking a way out. I am trying to make any necessary contribution that will open that way. Plus, I am reading about people like Nelson Mandela. I am reading about Stephen Biko, you know, and then I am looking into the struggle in the US, Malcolm X, the Black Panther movement. So all of these things in my head, so that militancy, you know, within my consciousness, and recognize that change is only going to take place through activism, not just sitting and praying. So moving out of even the church environment, I become so militant within my own self as a little youth, you know, so that prepared me. And when I decided to do the music, you know, and as I said, as I talk about writing iron bars from jail, I was so active that even the structure itself, like them have a, where they call it, a file on me. You know what I mean? This young man, we have to watch him.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Because people in my community start to see me as somebody that have a kind of influence.
Yeah, yeah.
At this point in your life, had you connected the dotted lines, like for instance, with your mindset, were you connecting it with music?
You see, as I said, it is the whole connection, you know, because I start to realize that the music is also a part of the science of politics.
But were you connecting it at that point in time?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because I see it as a, you know, I'm going to show you. My second song is a song named They Are Dangerous. I don't know if you can find it. And if you listen to this song, they are dangerous. Don't trust them. They are dangerous. As every day them get up and them a talk about peace. Who cause all the crime? Political wild beasts. Happy war and crime, we see a increase. While yet still every day them keep on having them feast. What a go on South Africa, them take it for the least. And yet still every day them penetrate the Middle East. They are dangerous. Don't trust them. They are dangerous. They are dangerous. As every day them get up fighting like hooligan. What they are fighting for is just leaders' position, creating our mind more confusion. And every day them build a nuclear weapon, you know what I mean? Hand and arm.
Right.
Them are aliens in my land. They want come rob up with gold, with silver, and with dime. You know, so at all time, it was a political battlefield within my consciousness, within the music. It was revolutionary. It was about change. It was pointing my people to, you know, the oppressive nature of the system. Also pointing my people that the only way out of the system is to resist it. Yeah.
Sharon, I'm not going to hug up the mic because, you know, I can hug up the mic, you know.
We both can hug up the mic because there is stories for days with I-Maa-Ra. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So let me ask you this question, if you can answer this question. You spoke of the time in jail. Was it because of who you were and what you were getting into politically that you were targeted while you were in jail? That's if you would like to speak on that.
Yeah, because as I said, when I wrote Iron Bars, I was just picked up. I was framed. was framed.
Of course.
You know? Because they realized that, you know, and it was about within a time that the political heat was on. So to have somebody like me out of the picture, it is more profitable to the other side. It was not like I was into partisan politics.
Right.
But I was supporting an ideological principle, not partisan, but an ideological principle that I recognize would be more beneficial, you know, to have a more egalitarian system where everybody can benefit more than the few on top and the vast majority of the people who are the bedrock, you know, who's building this country, you know, who's contributing to the development of the country, but still getting nothing for it. So that, and I see myself as a part of that, and see, oh, we have been victimized, you know, and just by tracing my history, I recognize that, you know, it was literally 300 odd years of that same kind of struggle, because the system that is presently in place, it is a protectorate system from the same colonial infrastructure, you know what I mean? So thinking about all of that, I am saying, no, I can't just sit, you know, my ancestors didn't sit and watch things, you know, get out of control. They stood up, they resisted, you know, and create something for themselves. So that was a spirit. It was in my DNA, that fighting spirit, you know.
But that's why they framed you. Like, we have to take him out, put him to the side, man, and go and destroy things.
Well, I want to tell you, it is not just even frame. There was a time when they literally would like to get me out, you know, meaning if them can execute this one, they would do it.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean? Because I see it happen to maybe about 3 or 4 of my brethren, you know. So we were targeted. I tell the truth, you know, we're militants. You know? There was a time when a group of us used to roll, they were called the one-way massive. It's pure khaki suit and red and white epaulets. So it's just straight militancy, you know what I mean? Because being a part of a movement at that time, calling the WPG, you know, going total left, aligning ourselves with the movement that is taking place worldwide. You know, because it was not like a thing localized. We were also thinking about what was taking place in Grenada, what was taking place in Nicaragua. You know, that was how far we were reading. You understand? So it is not just a localized vibration in a Jamaica, or say it's just Jamaica. We were looking on what is taking place, or what was taking place in the world at that time. So it stimulated us as young men at that time to be militant, you know, and not just hot-headed militant people, but we are real. You know, we are studying political science, you know, we are looking on capitalism versus communism versus socialism. You know, we get deep into everything, and feudalism, spirituality, everything intertwined. And we see the connection with the art and everything and how things operate. So that was the vibration, you know.
And at what age were you when they picked you up? What age were you when you were in jail?
Pardon me? I don't get that. Go again.
What age were you when you were in jail?
That was about 20-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your experience in there, and I'm not sure how long you were in there, what was it like for you in there? Knowing, okay, they're trying to move me out, but I'm still gonna stand firm, and nothing's gonna bring you down. What was your mindset when you were in there?
The experience was let us say, bittersweet, you know, because at the time we did have some militant police brethren who was a part of a movement. So, you know, I remember this police brethren named McCarthy. You know, he took care of me while I was there.
Okay.
You know? And you know, he makes sure that certain things work out, you know. But there were others who were on the opposite side who decided that they would have wanted to see certain things happen to me. I want to tell you, the man, they let me out, you know. You're supposed to, you're not supposed to get let out of jail after 6 o'clock. See? So the morning when they picked me up, I was going to my field with my machete, right? So they brought me to jail with my machete, and when they let me out, you know, after about 11 days, the man they let me out after 6 o'clock. Now the community where me I go walk but to, see? The last vehicle stop run to that community early. So the plan now is to let me out that I go and walk with the machete and they would ride me down on the lonely road and shoot me. Luckily, when I come out the evening, there's this brethren that drive a taxi named Les, and Les picked me up. So when Les picked me up, him drive me to a particular point where I go park the car, and then me and him would walk. Or him. As soon as I reach in the part where we can see light and things, because the road is, you know, dark, you know. I see this bike, I hear this bike come behind me, you know. And when the bike come, I was about to reach my grandaunt home. And my grandaunt daughter named Delia, she saw me and she ran out and, you know, hugged me and, you know, and called me Courtney, and, you know. And immediately, a short while after that, is this policeman ride up on the bike, you know. And when he rode up on the bike, you know, him look on Delia and say, you know him? And Delia said, what you mean if you know him? I'm a cousin, you know. And because my grandaunt was a big thing in the community, so that kind of maybe just back him up now and say, yeah, and them people are family, you know. And then him start to show some little words. So that's why I behave so. I mean, I say, oh, I behave now. You just defend my rights, you know. You want to lock me up falsely, you know. And it's, you know, so it's months after that now, when we say the activity, we realize that because of my mindset, because of what I am about, you know. And we see it happen to Stephen Biko, we see it happen to Malcolm X, we see it happen to all the revolutionaries. So from then I knew what I was up against, you know, and even within the music today, you know, certain vibration where you utter, you become blacklisted, you become marginalized because, you know, these guys are after the infrastructure that is in place, and this infrastructure is beneficial to the system, you know. So if you are saying anything that is against that, then you know you're on the battlefield.
Yeah.
It was refreshing when the year 10 Star General played some of my love song. I remember all I want.
Yes, one of my favorites too. I was just like, oh, look at that. So yes, you're full of emotion and passion about any and everything that you do. So that's nice to hear that. You know what I mean?
Before you go any further, because I write a lot, some of the things them I can't sing them, some of the things them I say them. See? And when this last night, you know, it's just a vibration. When me hear him play, just a minute, we need to charge my doctor and pass it to me. When I heard him play, just give me a minute.
No problem. So once again, you're welcome to the live. No, we're on the Raising the Awareness show on a Sunday. Lord have mercy.
It don't even feel like Sunday.
You know, big up some of the people in the building, Shaz.
Yes, big up. Welcome to Herlene Johnson Williams, of course, my favorite DJ Maestro. Galaxy A12, welcome Verona Hay, Daniel Clark, welcome. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Yes, so as I said, you know, there are some things that not everything we can see, you know. So I hope you can interpret that one and understand the journey. This one called I Face Death. I face death, haunting by life's pain. I face death all around. I see turmoil, barren soil, desperate humans suffer while toil for another spoil. I face death, feeling excruciating pain, midnight, moan and groan. Mr. Bob Dogs howl. Baby Anu awakened by the sound, peeping through the window, but the dogs weren't not around. Lie down, I uttered to ease my pain by humming and hibernating sound. I faced death, wondering about my wife and sons. How would they manage if I am not around? I face death because I'm sick, internal, external conflict. All my life, 46, living it, unbearable, yet bearable. So long taking licks, captive to the politics of industrialistic and technological economics. Drugs industry flourish, making profit from the sick. Hoping, praying, religious fanatic. Dancing sadistic public to feel good music. Falling to the tricks of propagandists. I fear death will not be a statistic to the death and profit of insensitive culprit. When I transit within a year, burn it, bury it.
Wow. That's deep.
Poetry and a spoken word. I love it.
But yeah, that's what it was. Poetry. Yeah, that's spoken word right there, because the passion behind each sentence as it started.
Let me just read this one. All through this life, trial and test, tired, weary body seeks permanent rest, protruding bones beneath skinny flesh. Wandering mind, keep no time, incline, decline, feeling closer to the divine. In a far distance, a bright light shines, rising behind the horizon, tide, all reveal, nothing hide. Now I must accept my truth with pride.
No wonder why you can write such powerful poems, you know, or even, you know, what I love also, which is spoken word, you know, because you've lived it and then gone through it, you know, and still going through it. We're going to get to a portion of your life of what you've imparted on to your children also, but also we know that your music career has been part of your journey, you know. So I want to get into who was it that believed in you, that took you to a studio, that made you feel like, okay, it's time for you to record, you know, and, you know, you have something to offer to the masses. Because, and in a double-edged kind of way of giving you this question, I still believe that in the number of years that you've been in the industry, that you provided us with this powerful music, you still have not been recognized for the great brother that you are musically.
I first want to give honor to Horace Tapper and Jim General Force. You know, he was the first one who took me to studio. The second time I've been to a studio, it was parked by a young man named Iron Dawkins. He's my friend. I know him work at Berger Painting. Up till now, him dead. You know, I remember when I was at Berger Paint working. You know, one day he looked at me and said, "You just there so I sing." So he showed me something in a newspaper, a little organization named Singers and Songwriters Association in our community near to New Evans, near Duane Park. So I went there and get a second song recorded. Second song, They Are Dangerous, right? There's where I met a virgin named Stepper John, known to the world today as Luciano. See?
Oh,
See?
right. Yes.
So I and him become very close friend from that time, and then we start to par, you know. And then when I recorded They Are Dangerous, it was the three of us on the rhythm. Me, Lucian, and another sister named Arita Foster, right? So my tune, They Are Dangerous, came out, and Arita Foster tune came out. Lucian and other tune, The World Is in Trouble, Serious Trouble.
Yeah.
Somehow the producer never put out that tune, you know? And Lucian introduced me to a group of musicians called themselves Earth Ruler Band, right? So Earth Ruler was just further up in the community of Duane Park named Brook Valley. So we started to go there and jam. The brother named Winston used to play bass, and we used to jam in our apartment and rehearse, you know? So we rehearsed with the Earth Ruler Band for a while. Then the band moved from that community and go down further into the other side of Kingston, Mall Road, you know, the era when Ninja Man and them. So we used to go there to rehearse like on a Thursday evening, you know. And when we done rehearse on Thursday evening, sometimes it's at 1 o'clock in the night. And Luciana used to live out of Spanish Town, Central Village, so he couldn't get to go home. So sometimes he would have jam with me, you know what I mean? He'd stay by my house, you know. So while doing all of that, there was a brethren, you know, who very close to me, was like a godfather. He was a part of the WPGA too, you know. He was like our elderly Rasta man. He's a militant brethren. And there's this sister who was a part of the women movement, you know, in the WPGA. Her name was Elaine Thomas. And then she later on married to this white lord from England named Lord Gifford. So she became Lady Gifford, right? Militant sister. So she's an author. She wrote books, you know, and she was planning to launch her book, a book named The Last Room. So, and she had this company that she was also planning to launch named Oil Not Limited. So he and my brethren, we call him Juicy, was very close. So he told Juicy her intention and said, boy, she would have really like a band and, you know. So Juicy linked me up. So the first connection, you know, she knew me from a while, but she never knew I was so deep into the music. So she took me to St. Mary on a project that she had. And when I went to St. Mary, it was this school named Islington High School. And she said, boy, she would want me to sing a song at the school. So I have this little nursery rhyme where I mix with some lyrics, you know. Labor for learning before you grow. Learning is better than silver and gold. Silver and gold will vanish away. But I go there, you know, teaching you the truth, teaching you the right. You know what I mean? So I went to St. Mary in this school, Islington, you know, and I sang the song and I just rip up the whole school, you know. And we came home and she said to me, why she wanted to talk to me pertaining to the launching of her book, pertaining to, you know, the launching of her company. And you heard that I have a band. So, oh, you know, so I went to the band and then everything worked out, the launch. So to cut a long story short, because, you know, she said, I am going to give you a scholarship, and this scholarship is going to align to the song that you sang at the concert. The scholarship is going to be the Labor for Learning scholarship. We go to Edna Manley College. Because we arranged the band to come at the book launch, and she also gave out some award at the book launch. She gave Judy Moore at the Nanny Awards because she was also active with the Moortown Maroons, and Colonel at the time, Colonel Harris from the Moortown Maroon was there, you know. So it was a big thing. It was really a big thing, you know. A lot of write-up in the paper, and, you know, I get my features as well, you know, as the recipient for the Labor for Learning scholarship. And that was 1992, you know. So I ended up at Edna Man, well, at that time it wasn't Edna Manley College, it was the Jamaica Cultural Training Center. See? So I ended up there, you know, and So she is also an integral part, you know, Elaine Thomas Gifford, you know, we call her E.T., God bless her soul, you know. She's an integral part of my life. And that's why you hear in a part of the poem when I say, Elaine Thomas said, you know, I-Maa-Ra rise, you know. She is somebody who guided my life to this point, you know. So I went to Edna Manley. Being at Edna Manley, you know, another side of my militancy came out there, you know what I mean? Because there's where I started to grow my natty at that time. And then, you know, I formed the first reggae band because when I went to Edna Manley at that time, it was pure classical music. And, you know, we started a reggae band up there called PQ7 and started to keep launch our concert up there. See? And from there to the North Coast, back to Abasani. So the musical journey is a long journey, and you know, it is, you know, and I want to pay respect to a brethren named Leslie Banzi. He was also the engineer for Jimmy Cliff, you know, so I did quite a few recording with him as well, you know. So it's a long journey, bro.
Wow. So as you trod forward, what was it like recording some of your first few songs and getting it out there and receiving the world, you know, somewhat the world attention on your feet?
You know, it was bittersweet. As I said, bittersweet. When I did my first video, I started to feel the pressure of the business. When I did my first video, you know, I'm not car, I still I take bus, I live at Portmore, you know. And the first video I did, it was a song named Don't Fight Yourself, that I did with Ibok Cooper.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's that time you have cable companies, local cable companies. So the song played on TVG, the video, and then it was playing. I was living in Portmore at the time, and there was a local cable company over the name Jax, right? And I live in Portmore, I have to take the bus. And I take the bus and you people, I look on you and I say, you know, so the spotlight upon you, and then we get a couple, I believe I did go up on Morning Time, TVG, then. So people are see you, but you still a struggle because no money now make. You're not a star, you're not driving no car, you know?
So how were you able to sustain yourself through this struggle of voicing songs and trying to get your name out there? How were you able to survive?
Well, I say I ended up on the North Coast. Started in the hotel, you know? That was like a little part now when we start to earn a little thing, you know? You understand? Because the pressure was on, you know, King. Because as I said to you, you know, the hardest part of my life when my first son, that was like where stress and things start to take me over now, because the devotion and the commitment to me make. Say,
what year was this now? What year?
That was in the 90s, because I left St. Thomas after I ran away and left my son, you know, because of certain issues from when he was about 1.5 years old, right? And then I'm living in Kingston, but me never leave him out, and I like me leave him out, you know. Me always I try to find something for us for next time. All right, that's why I end up I work a Berger plate, you know, and that's how we end up, you know, because me have to try to balance the music. Me have to make sure I eat food. So I never even get to graduate from Edna Manley College, because while I was on the campus, this brethren come up there and say, I look for a singer. So I was out in the yard singing. And then say, brethren, is a singer I come to look for my band, you know, but me hear you and I write you, so it's stop. And you me want. I never want to search for nobody else. And I say, really? So my life, after that little thing about it, you know, nothing me not really seek. It just happened. It just pop up.
Happened.
You know? And I just believe because I was constantly in training. So the brethren in here Warren, he used to play for this band. It was Sweat. It's a band that used to back Beanie Man. I forget the band with a brethren in here. Worm Bass used to play with him. Worm Bass was a part of that whole crew too, right? So Warren took me to them band, what they call the band, I believe the band was U7 at working and they had a contract with FDR. It is Franklin D Resort out by Runaway Bay. So I lived in that area for a while and worked in the hotel, you know. And then when I did there, sometime would I drop 1 and 2 of my original, you know, at night time would I sing 2 of my original, rehearse it, and you know, because we as the band lived together in one house. So would I get up and would I rehearse and would I cook and you know, like a family, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I sing my original, then I realize that people are come to me and I say, then would I like buy them, you know? And I say, wait, how this go on, you know? And then the militant side of me also at the hotel, because me did start to shift away from the known repertoire and the North Coast, you know, because I the same thing everybody is sing, don't worry about a thing, and you know, same music then. So me start to add in some different songs. Me I sing some Third World, me I sing some militant Bob Marley, me I sing some Peter Tosh, you know. Well, the entertainment coordinator, you know, have a problem with that. So he start to put pressure upon the band manager or the band master. The band master constantly coming to me and I say, boy, you need to change up and sing what they want. But I say, no, me not entertain the entertainment coordinator. I'm entertaining the public. Every night when we go down there, see the people them receptive to the work what me I do. So why should I, you know, me say me not work with him, you know? So he must say, well, he might get out the other. So I say, all right. So I just left and go back to Kingston. When I went back to Kingston, there's this band that used to back Lieutenant Stitch call me. I don't know them hear about me, but them call me. But it's the same thing. Then this other group named Abasani, the bass player come to me and say, want me to lead sing for him group. Well, the band that called me, the other band, them decide to would pay me and would get to go up on tour with Stitchy. I turned down that, you know, bother with that. I made the choice with the band when I realized I would get to do some recording with, because they were already a recording band. See? But nothing now go on for them. They must struggle. See? So what we end up after do, like we would have rehearsed from Monday to Thursday. So Thursday would have go down by Greenwich Farm or catch fish, and would have roast fish, and would have stayed up on the road and you know, roasting fish and you know, just surviving. You know, just surviving, just toughing it out. And then the band get an opportunity. I ended up in Mexico, 1996. You know, and the same bass player, when the man see the kind of reception and the kind of vibration that was especially at Cancun, and never forget that night, performing in Cancun, where over 15,000 people go crazy and I shout, Abasani, Abasani, you know? Somehow that get to the brethren head, when we come back to Jamaica, the man say me I become superstar and I'm banned, and then the disintegration of that group, you know, and then we just continue, you know. Then the producers, this was Milton Booth, you know, and a brethren named Zico, they were the manager at the time, and they said to me, say, you come here so and change thing, you know. And the man them don't appreciate it. So we have to work with you. So from ever since I and Milton Booth, from that time, from 1995 until now, me and him still I work as a brethren. You know, we just call it a production company, you know, that's not like a management thing, but we just work together, you know what I mean? And he's a brethren who dedicated and loved the music, and tell him son who was a little toddler when we used to carry about school, or we used to go pick up a school and used to carry about studio. His son become one of the top 10 videographer inside of Brooklyn right now.
Oh, wow.
Doing, you know, so most of my music video is his son. You see the journey, my lion? Sometimes, you know, we get emotional, you know. Still, his son was a little child at the time. Now become a videographer and a producer of the work for me I do right now.
Wow. Wow.
Theodore Booth, big up yourself. TC.
What's his name, Theodore?
Theodore Booth.
Booth, okay.
Yeah.
Look that up.
And in company name the Cube Effect.
The Tube Effect.
The Cube. C-U-B-E-D, the cube. Cube way of you know? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, what in terms of how you've been able to move forward, and also, you know, being able to sustain yourself. We've known that the industry doesn't really fully recognize and endorse, you know, artists such as yourself who really have a message, and I've been consistent with that message for years, you know.
You're breaking up a bit.
Yeah? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, but you're breaking up.
Okay, I think it's just my internet. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, but it's just like choppy. It's a bit choppy.
Okay. How have you been able to sustain yourself?
Watch out. You see, them always say, wherever there's a strong man, there's also a stronger woman, right?
Because here my question really good is like you go for many years trying to get your voice out there, and it's maybe just a minuscule number of people that are really hearing your message. What keeps you going?
What keeps you going?
Consistent message.
The love for the art, but I'm going to tell you what most important. I have a wife, right? I have a wife. I met this woman from 1994, right? And from 1994, through all my struggles, through all nothing I go on, she dead with me from 1994 to now. See? Her name is Beverly Edwards Stewart.
Beverly Edwards. Let me give her the salute, man.
Beverly.
Yeah.
Yes.
They call her Bev Moonchild. She have a program on a radio station here, you know.
Okay.
Okay, she's with us. You know what? I think she's here.
Is she there?
She was here early on. I believe
she was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
She is the rock in my life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So when it's a journey, you know, I'm not sure, you know, King. We make some I don't want to call it sacrifice, you know. You know, it's like some devotion in my life. You see, 2005, I have this song named Bye Bye Bye, and our next song, Cramp and Paralyze the Eden. Somehow, at this jockey, a radio station in Washington, D.C., just have this song just kick off. You know what I mean? And them show some interest, and they want to get me at the state. This is the first time now some people are show some interest, and they want me to fly out. So them send some invitation letter and thing from about the embassy. See? This is 2005, you know. Now, the Friday evening I sat on the bed and I planned for the Monday morning I go by the embassy. While I sat on the bed, that I was living in East Kingston, it's like me hear a clear voice come to me and say, the embassy thing now go work out, your son are gonna need you. And in about minutes after that, my son called me a cry. And I said, what happened? And he must say, no tell me say Nard dead, no tell me say Nard dead. His mother named Minard. His mother had an heart attack and died. Immediately, I saying to myself, say, yo, this is it, you know. The youth you need me. Now, I have to go be man now, you know, because I made that commitment. And that is the same year my wife get the job for work in a St. Thomas. Whenever I'm married yet, you know, we just come on now, but we still have some wife, you know. So we move out to St. Thomas. And it was a tough time for the youth because, you know, him and his mother was very close, you know. Very bright. He just left school with maybe about 16 subjects, you know, and want to go to university. My brother died a couple of years before my grandmother died. So everything just got out, you know, like, you know, me, I got through that phase there. You know what I mean? So me, I said to him, boy, so nothing there. I mean, can't send you to go to university now. And you can't see the disappointment. And I say, you have some subjects, you know, so make us see what we can do with this. So me and my wife sort out certain things and we send out some resume. And he called him and he never looked back. You know what I mean? Right now he's married and live in Canada with his wife and give me my first granddaughter. You know? So that's sacrifice, you know. Another thing within that time, the second son born, Razu. And when him born, you know, took him to the daycare center and realized him I come home with some, you know, illnesses and them things. I said, John, I don't like this. So I just cut this tudor thing when I used to go every day and say to my wife, say, "Go stay home and take care of my son." At night time, I will go studio. You know? So all through that, she at work, you know, whenever I get a little time to go hustle, I go hustle, but she's always the foundation. When the second one born, just the same sacrifice. I say, yo, you know, because of certain things I'm not a believer now. And decide to me, I go stand up as a revolutionary and this and these things, you know. So I took on that, you know. You know, so all through that, so that was like the foundation and the myriads. My life is not my life alone. My life is assisted by so many people. You know, this I-Maa-Ra is not just I-Maa-Ra. It's all of the other contribution from people who I know, Milton, Boatin, wife, you know, saying because sometimes when things tough, him reach out and say, all right, Mara, hold on on this. You see me? I said, so make me not bored as my grandmother. I never go to bed hungry, you know, never want naked, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Me, you, them never hungry. So, you know, amidst all the struggle, amidst everything that we are going through and still making the music with joy, you know, me never feel like even give up neither. Like say, well, I never pack up this thing, you know, because it not work, you know. No, me just know, say, this is a devotion, this is a commitment, and me I do it, and me I do it with a certain level of joy, you know what I mean?
And part of me feels and knows deeply that you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it to see other people rise. That there's that part of you that I pick up, you know, that other people see in you also.
Big up all the people in the chat. We appreciate you being here. We just want to say that to the people who are here with us. Yeah. You see the song, as I say, you know, the music come out of me. Here's the song that I recorded about, I think about 2005, 2004, maybe 2004. I just put it out 2020. Rise up, rise, stand tall. Don't you bow or fall, yeah. Evil men will fight you down, even when you're back against the wall. Rise up, rise, stand tall. Don't you bow or fall, no matter what they say or do. Think big, don't think small. People working so hard and get underpaid.
Shezzy, raising the awareness with Star General and Sharon Mango. Tune in and keep it locked.
The cry of the oppressed, the cry of the downtrodden man. And sisters, we got to, yes, rise up, rise and tall. Don't you bow and fall. Evil men will fight you down, even when you're back against the wall. Rise for what they say or do. Think big, don't think small. People working so hard and yet underpaid, and to mount situation that's just first aid. Depression and stress when the bills can't be paid. Still me nah go falter, nah go fade. Got to move ahead in life no matter what it takes. The chains and the barriers, you know we gotta break. My eyes are open, now that I'm awake. Now go make you eat up the cake. Rise up, rise and tall. Don't you bow and fall.
Greetings, my beautiful people. This is Shezzy, raising the awareness with 10-star General and Sharon Mango. Tune in and keep it locked.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, that's better now. You're good.
So you hear the expression in that. People working so hard, yet underpaid. And to mouth situation is like first aid. Depression and stress when the bills can't be paid. Still we no falter, we no feared, you know? So we have to move along in life no matter what it takes. The chains and the barriers, we have to break. My eyes open now. Now that I'm awake, me now make them eat up the cake, you know? Yeah. So it a sure we struggle. It a sure say we have to get active. You know, it's not bowing down and praying and calling and, you know what I mean? We have to allow the God in us to come to the fore and shine bright, you know? You know, the ancestors' blood must never go in vain. We have the power of the sun and the rain. As rebel in the street, we now go bow nor retreat. We know the struggle bitter, we know say it no sweet. We trample corruption under our feet. We are climbing to the highest peak within ourselves. Not to be above anybody, but that highest peak within ourselves, in our consciousness. And this is what, you know, I'm imploring people and encouraging people to be not over anyone, but at all times, just try to be your best self. Being your best self, it means that you are on your way to self-mastery. Yeah. Because you're not trying to compete against another person, you know? Because you have you to work on. You have your purpose to deal with. Just imagine each and every one of us know what our purpose is and give it the full attention. Would there be any time for any conflict?
No.
Because you'll be so focused on making sure that you are doing what you need to do to be your best self. And the other man will do the same thing. The other man will do the same thing. And what everything would happen to do, all of us will be just harmonizing and living in harmony. You know what I mean? But once somebody will tell you, say you're better than the other person, you already create that conflict within your mind. You become distracted because you are watching the other person. You are not paying attention to your inner power, to your inner self. You know, so Rise is about that. Rise and start.
Why are people, why are the masses finding it hard to understand and digest that message, which would help Jamaica along the way, as well as many other countries? Jamaica is blessed with reggae music, as we know. Jamaica has so many talented individuals who emerge out of Jamaica, you know, and the names are endless. We don't even have to pick any names, you know, and there are those who are yet to be discovered. But why do we feel like we are the only ones who need to be recognized? And, you know, there's no room for Joe Bloggs or John Thomas or whoever it is. There's only room for one person. Why can't we get together and unite and become a big force? And I'll remind you of a time when, and I remember it so vividly, when Ian Smith was the Prime Minister in Rhodesia, Yeah. And there was that struggle. And reggae music became a point and became a voice for those who were suffering and going through that struggle. Because I remember it. Yeah. Why can't we get back to those days and become one big force and use our voice collectively to make that difference? Because we're in more dire times than we were before. That's what I feel personally.
My brother, you are making the difference right now. And why I say you are making the difference and there are others who are making the difference, you know, is how maybe you and the others can collaborate. You see, we the artists are the practitioners in the business. We don't want media, see? Especially those of us who want to see a better life for all. There's a few who control the media, who control all of these things that our music would have to go through to reach the people. You know, they see us. If you mention Rhodesia and you see what happened to Bob Marley after that, you understand? And even before that, they were trying, you know. And if you look on not just Jamaican reggae, you know, if you check what the history of even I-Maa-Ra, if you check back the history of her name again, the South Africa singer, man, she passed.
Miriam Makeba.
Miriam Makeba. Just check back them history, you know.
Okay.
You know, check the history of even the great Jimi Hendrix, you know. They were aligning themselves to the revolutionary struggle in America. How they become, you know, Sam Cooke, all of them, how they become marginalized because, you know, what they were saying, you know. I believe Earth, Wind and Fire could be a bigger band if they never saw militant, you know. You know, Jill Scott Heron, all of these revolutionary poets, you know, they never get to be in the limelight. Yeah, yet they were speaking the language of the people. You know, they were speaking the language, you know, of how people must rise and stand up against what is not working in our interests and take control of our own lives, you know. So the people who want to maintain the infrastructure of slavery, you know, they will never ever allow people like us to just get a free rein. Rather, they would support the things that is happening now because it is more beneficial to them when the people are not politically conscious, you know, when the people are economically illiterate, you know, don't understand how to value themselves, you know. So all of these little tricks work on the people who have self-worth and want to establish that foundation that it can expand within your community. You know? Crime is a big business, you know, Malayan. Crime is a big business, and we must face these things and understand if we look what is taking place in the world, you know, especially when we talk about even America. The biggest economy is a crime economy, you know. One of the third, the other industry where they are promote now is the prison industrial complex. See, we are just talking to a lot of youth them with about you and saying they're in a scamming. And I'm saying to them, you know, wake up, think what you are doing, because you may be flossing and believe this is it. Sooner or later, these guys are going to come for you and you're going to spend 20 years in them prisoner work free. You understand? It's no joke thing. So we know the mission that we are on, you know, and this mission, we know what it takes to be a part of it. It's not a bed of roses. You know what I mean? And if we understand the power of the art, you know, them know it. Them understanding, they know it. It's just some of the people don't get it clear in them head. So and we turn up the nose after when we do certain things, you know, and I say certain things. But there is a thing in the Bible say, forgive them because they know not what they have done. So sometimes I say that some of the time myself, you know, say, Jah, forgive them because they know not what they have done, you know.
Yeah. So show me that and just share with us, because sometimes I find it a struggle myself, which is why it's good to talk in this day and age. You know, it's like even with my young one, you know, sharing knowledge of what times has been like and where she needs to get to mentally. I'm talking about my daughter, right? Where she needs to get to mentally in able to sustain herself for the future. How have you been able to do that with your son, knowing that clearly you've been through, you know, that struggle yourself? How are you able to impart the knowledge without putting the fear of God into them, so to speak?
Well, my youth, them are as free as the bird in the tree. You know? First thing what I do, we decide to go homeschool my youth. I'm not send them to the system. Right? So I have a 10-year-old here, and you know, this youth is so brilliant. See? You see,
can we meet the king himself? Let's meet the king himself before you even go any further.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Come here, sir. I know. Come here. Come here.
Make him say a few words, man.
See me here. See me here.
The king himself. We have to salute you, man.
Young man. Hi, Anu.
Yes, man.
How are
you?
I'm good.
Great, great. I-Maa-Ra, tell us about this young king.
All right. You see, why it is such a serious youth, you know. You know, if some of the time, you know, me have to battle with him, you know, because I'm very tricky too, you know. But yeah, you know, him love him phone, him love to watch things, and you have to depend on him. But they'll show you how in a couple of years ago, about 26, about 2 or 3 years ago,
Right.
I have him reading, like before you go on him phone at daytime, he said, guess what? Before you go on your phone, you have to learn one Marcus Garvey quote. So that was the mission. Real
talk.
Yeah. Before you go on him
tell him if you quote one Garvey mission. Tell him if you quote one right now before I'm left.
All right. Now I'm gonna make him quote one. In just a little more. Yeah. So every time I would have said to him, say, you have to quote a Marcus Garvey before you go on your phone.
Right.
And prepare, hey boss, you can quote a Garvey when you go. See? So I say, you have to do this. 10-star general.
Yeah.
This is the amazing part of it.
Mm.
That little boy sit down, and because he want to go on him phone so much, in less than half an hour, do you go through these things and remember them in my head? That's a test when I put him through personally. Right? Then, be about a year or so ago, you know, on Marcus Garvey's birthday, I was out in the yard.
Right.
We have a little cat we call named Cyrene. Cyrene will get pregnant and decides that she go have picnic on the same day. So Cyrene come a ball and rub up on the foot, you know what I mean? And me, if you didn't know, I try if you, what they call it, that become midwife now for Cyrene.
Midwife for Cyrene.
So on the same day now, Anu decides say him go do one thing named Anu Stark. So he go on him bicycle and he just say one Marcus Garvey quote. And then from that, it started a thing named I-Maa-Ra Talk. And his mother started to post it. I believe the first one post about 8,000 odd views. Boop, I mean, I say, wait. Like something on there, so. And him continue to do it every week. Him say, boy, I went to do I-Maa-Ra Talk. Then all of a sudden, we realize that lady named Dr. Eleanor went, saw one of them post, and said, boy, she want to. She have put out her next book. What your book the boss? She have put out her next book, you know? And him buck up this young man and he should have liked to co-write the book with the young man. Come, see book here.
I-Maa-Ra's book.
Yeah.
Wow. Marcus teachers, look at that.
See, it's on Amazon. Come boss, come say the quote. See?
Let me recite one. Make him recite one.
Come recite on the quote. Come to
Wow.
Right, so. See them there?
Dada himself.
Yeah.
All right, I know.
Hello everybody, so today I'm going to be saying a quote called Cause of War. The world is not yet perfect. It is in confusion, yes, in chaos. And out of this chaos will come many more upheavals that will shake its very foundation. Fool not yourselves that the conflicts that have been held and will be held in the future are sufficient to settle the disbroken state of the world, the dissatisfied conditions of humanity. They have not gone down to the root of all evils that give cause to the greatest content. They will never be able to establish a permanent peace and present to us a settled world. The history of the past teaches us that we have had many wars, each one deadly and each more catastrophic. And even as the war of 1914 to 1918 was the most deadly we have ever experienced in ages, so in the very near future, we shall see the most bloody conflict ever waged by man. Whether it is to be a war of the races or a war of nations, no one can tell. But so long as this injustice continues, so long as the strong continues to oppress the weak, so long as the more powerful nations arrange among themselves to oppress the weaker ones and to rob and exploit them, and to keep the more unfortunate of humanity in serfdom, so long will the cause of war be fed with the fuel of revenge, of hatred, and of discontent.
Wow.
So you get a goal for that.
Weird.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I know.
My YouTube channel is called Starseed I-Maa-Ra Talk. So you
Say
can
that one more time.
Starseed I-Maa-Ra Talks. So you can go there.
Starseed I-Maa-Ra Talks. Is that
We're
correct?
gonna join you. Yeah, we're gonna subscribe. Please subscribe to his channel, please.
Yeah.
I'm going to now. Starseed I-Maa-Ra Talks. Let me subscribe from
Well,
It is ANNU, that is Anu, Starseed I-Maa-Ra Talks.
Starseed.
I know Starseeds talk.
No, Starseed I-Maa-Ra Talks.
Okay, Starseed I-Maa-Ra's talk.
I-Maa-Ra Talks.
I know. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you have it, massive. Join his channel. Please subscribe to this young king.
I found him. I found you. Let me subscribe.
Yeah.
You find him already?
I did.
Oh wow! I saw you so bad.
There's somebody fast, man.
Yo, I-Maa-Ra.
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely your DNA, boy. Huh?
Well, the other one is like an introvert, you know, but I'm a genius.
Oh, really?
You know, like limelight, but in serious, you know.
All right. Yeah. Let's see, Mama Bev.
Yeah. Bev.
Let's see, Mama Bev. Even it says hi, hello, goodbye.
Yeah. Come on, I was like you steer. Come like you steer.
Yeah, man. Come here, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey! Enough love to you.
Mama Bev.
Blessings,
Yes.
blessings, blessings.
Blessings, blessings. I understand that you are the powerhouse behind this gentleman
Okay,
and that he is nothing without you. Isn't that so?
okay.
That's true.
Is it true?
Yeah, man.
Yes. He is not who he is had it not been for you, the powerhouse. Behind
Okay.
every great man is the most powerful woman, and that is you. Blessing, sister. Are you
Yep.
that?
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Love it, love it. I'm
And it's nice to meet you. God bless you, sister. And
all the very best.
sorry.
I'm saying all the very best.
Thank you so much. It's nice to meet you formally.
Yes, take care
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I-Maa-Ra, you have a powerful family right there. And Anu, woo, he's a powerhouse already, you know. Before we end this show, I just want to give you, you know, your respect. Sorry. I want to give you your respect, you know, in the industry as a person who's consistently over the years delivered a message, you know, and been true to who you've claimed yourself to be, that we have known you to be, you know. And we just want to give you flowers now as a real revolutionary soldier who's fighting for change, not just within your family, but for all. You know what I mean? And you're continually doing it and campaigning. And we just love what you do. You know, I'm a big supporter of your music. I have a large catalog of your music, and that not change. All right. So we want to give you your time to talk to the masses, to give them your contacts, whatever you want to say to the people then.
Yes, so one of the things I want to say to the people, get back to the core, which is family, you know. Make sure we have a solid family foundation, you know, because when you start with a family, you're on the way to build a great nation, you know, because the family is the core of any nation.
Say that one more time for me.
You know, once we can build the family foundation, or the foundation of the family, or where you want to put it, see, you are on your way to build a great nation. And we must remember our history as Black people. That is what they destroyed. The foundation of the family, the Ubuntu principle. I am because you are because I am. When I see you, I see God. When you see me, you see God. When I see you, I see life. I recognize, you know, there is no lower, there is no higher, there is no inferior, there is no superior. Life don't carry none of that around it. You know what I mean? All of this is created by men, especially the patriarchal power. And that's why I want to say this. It's time some of us men just step back, you know, and allow the female energy to shine, because that is our downfall. The patriarchal dominance is the imbalance that is affecting the yin and yang, the reciprocity of life, the principle of Ma'at, to function effectively, that harmony can be in this life. Because the female energy have been crucified for centuries. And until that come back to the fore, where we start to look at mother, father, and child, instead of father, son, and Holy Ghost. The woman is no ghost. Or you want to turn her in a ghost. So you see the intention of the system. You know? Now if you go religious, then still I go tell you, say, ghost mean truth. But at all time you want to hide the truth. Why? Let the truth shine. if you say the truth is the ghost, is the Holy Spirit, why are you trying to cover it up? Allow her to shine. So this is something that I did want to share. That we can't be nothing without the female. And I realized that this is, especially in this music industry, it is a patriarchal dominated industry. And when you take a step, them don't even support family structure. Just look on it. Most of the man have 15, 40 different giving madam, you know, and this is what people celebrate. And even when you're looking at dancehall culture, this is what celebrated, you know. So enough man can't even feel good for say, boy, I have a wife. You know, you don't even want to say that, because to say that, you know, that can be a career assassination. Enough man tell me them things there, boss.
Yeah.
You know, that's one of the things make you not now go on feel, you know what I mean? You know? But that no matter to me, you know what I mean? Yeah. So if you want to find I-Maa-Ra, just Google the name I-Maa-Ra. capital M-A-A-R-A, capital M-A-R-A. Let me say that again. Always capital capital M-A-A-R-A. Or you can Google, or you can go I-Maa-Ra Roots on Instagram, I-M-A-A-R-A-R-O-O-T-S, or I-Maa-Ra Stewart on Facebook, I-M-A-R-A-S-T-E-W-A-R-T, or you can go I-Maa-Ra-here-now.com. So I'm all over. As I said, just Google I-Maa-Ra and you will find my works. You know, one of the things I work on, I still think about to put out a book too. See, in a book of poetry. See? And the website is www.I-Maa-Ra roots.com. See? So it's a journey. It's still there.
Thank you, brother.
Company of great people. 10-star General, Sharon Mango, Ellen Johnson, DJ Maestro, Galaxy 12, and the other people them will tune in, the hate away with them on this. You know, it's not always the big number, but those who are committed to the cause.
Well, I know that we have Milton Booth. Milton Booth is
Jano. You're there, Jabi. That's what I call him, you know. Jabot and Julie Booth and Theodore Booth, you know. So
Sharon, do your thing. Do your thing, Sharon.
Yeah, I am. Listen, Milton Booth, if you'd like to unmute and say a few words, we'd be happy to hear you.
Jabi.
Yeah, I'm there. Just coming from the house, you know.
They must see official.
Yeah, just coming from the house, you know. Pay respect to the father, as I always do. So yeah, man, it's a nice vibes and 10-star. Enough respect, my brother. No respect to your brother.
Respect.
My sister, good to see you. You know, and Maskel, as I call him, you know. Maskel, Yellow Maskel. You know what I mean? That's what we call him. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Let's start, General.
Yes, man.
Let's start, General.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
You see, Milton now. Yeah, Milton a Christian, you know. See?
Right.
So, Haile Maskel is my baptismal name in the Ethiopian Orthodox Church.
I'm with you.
See? So, it's the only man who called me Maskel. See? Yeah,
now we understand.
Yeah. But you know, it's my brother. It's my brother for life, man. You know, because you know.
Man, right.
Man, going back many years, man.
Yeah, man. We're back to many things, man. Many things we're back, you know.
I look at it, you know, when my son Theo was about maybe 8 or so years old.
Yeah.
We'll go to the studio. I'll bring him there. Didn't have much interest to go there. You know, he wanted to go play with friends. I'll bring him there to see Mara working. And look at it. I mean, 20 years after that, he's the one who is doing Mara's videos. All Mara video. Because he's a videographer. He has a company. You know, those videos and all kind of stuff, commercials, events, weddings, and all of I-Maa-Ra's videos was done by him. You know? Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I definitely I looked that up too. It's called the Cubed Effect. It's
Right,
big website. Yes,
yes.
I see it, and he's here in Brooklyn. So
In Brooklyn, yes.
Come on. I will share that, Javi, but I'm glad you come reinforce it, you know?
Yes.
Milton Booth, thank you so much for your participation.
Great vibes, you know?
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Take care. I'm talk here.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk
later. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Is there anybody
blessings.
else? Is there anybody else? Blessings, Milton. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Is there anybody else would like to say a few words before we end the show? DJ Maestro, Helen Johnson.
Yes. Maestro is here.
Oh, yes.
Sunday blessings, everybody.
Yes, to you too, my brother.
Sunday blessings.
I don't know what to say, you know. Your journey, my man. I applaud you. I salute you. Manners and respect, because I came into the show quite late, but you're saying family, where you started from. I think you said 16 years old, you became a father figure.
Yes,
and everything it's like everything you've said up to that is always been about family. Whatever struggles you've been going through, family always seems to be at the front of your mind. So I haven't got much to say, but I just have to say, you know, I've read a little bit about you in the last few days, and you know, I have to just applaud you, my brother. Just keep on doing what you're doing. Your message, your music, your poetry, very powerful. And just listen to what your son was saying a little while ago. It just gave me goosebumps to know, say, a young boy like that has got so much talent, and obviously yourself and his mom have to give yourself a pat on the back for that. So all I can say is bless you and keep on doing your thing, my man, and respect every time. Bless you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Maestro.
Okay.
Thank you. So nice. Yes.
People have big you up big time, rude boy.
Sister Ellen, January. Erlene Johnson.
Yes, she's at Erlene Johnson, can you unmute? Is she shy?
Okay, maybe she just listen. All right.
All right.
Anybody would like to say anything before we close the question time? Now is the time for you to say your piece. And if you don't want to say anything, that's cool also. But it's nice to understand that people have very nice things to say about you, I-Maa-Ra. I've known you for many years and you've remained consistent. I've actually seen your son step into his greatness himself. And I see nothing but greatness for Anu and all your kids, And I personally am always going to be here rooting for you and ensuring that you step into your greatness. You know that.
Give thanks, brother. We give thanks for, your consistent support, and that is well needed, and it is reciprocal. Whatever I can do to make sure whatever you are doing, come to the fore, and, I will always be here to support my brother.
Amen. Give people information on how they can contact you if they want to stay, on top of what you're doing. Give them information.
As I say, is I-Maa-Ra .herenow.com.
Yes,
You can
and
find
on
us.
here now, all the links are there. Facebook, all his links are on
Your
here
job,
now.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
right. Everything. Facebook, everything is there from on here now.
Many thanks.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you, Milton. Yay! You see your friend stand up for you? Your friend is right there. Yeah, well, everything there. Everything.
Everything is there. Yeah, sure.
All right. Herlene Johnson.
No.
Okay. Yeah, well, she
Shy.
unmuted.
No, she unmuted.
Maybe you need to unmute her. No.
Okay.
No. No, we go. Herlene?
Okay. Well, we're going to end the show. And I want to thank your wife. I want to thank your entire family, I-Maa-Ra, and we want to wish you all the best for the future. You know, I really am proud of all you've achieved so far. And for me personally, you know, I only have to see you've released a song, and everything that you've ever released is right here. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. That's all. Everything is there. You know, my iPad, everything. You know what I mean? So, and I continue to support your mission because I know you're the real deal. Sharon, I'm going to let you have the last say, and we'll end the show with a tune of my choice.
Oh, are you? Your choice. All right, then. Because you played the
Okay,
song
your
that
choice,
I
your
love.
choice then.
No.
Your choice then.
It's
Go
okay.
on.
No, it's okay. You played it. But I-Maa-Ra, thank you for coming on and sharing your journey with us. It has been enlightening, to say the least. You definitely are the type of person for people to follow, look up to, and respect. I think that you have accomplished more than you even imagined yourself. A simple thing like saying to your son, before you go on that phone, quote me a Marcus Garvey. And as young as he is, he's in the realm of understanding and of being aware of who he is as a young Black man coming up in this world, and the understanding of what is happening. And that is a recipe for greatness. And that's all you. You did that. You were that person. You were that young man at that age, seeking knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. You did that first. And God has blessed you to still be here to pass that knowledge on through your own seed, where he can continue to spread it to the world. So all I can say is I commend you. God bless you on your journey. I am 100% a supporter of yours. God bless your family, your wife, your amazing wife. You were blessed with her, because every man should have a helpmeet. And this is what you have, which is why spiritually and mentally you can take on what's coming. That's all I can tell you.
Me have a helpmate, me have a goddess.
Goddess.
Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo.
Goddess.
Yeah, a goddess.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes. So I commend you, and I look forward to what's coming. I am subscribed now to Anu's little YouTube thing, which is, it's a beautiful thing. He's an inspiration. He's inspiration at this age, which is what is needed. He is the star of the new generation of helping these young people understand what is happening and being aware and woke, right? You did that.
Leader of tomorrow.
Leaders of tomorrow. You started that, sir.
Thanks for all the people who contributed to create this individual. The names are numerous to mention, you know. I don't even
Yes.
want to try to call names because some of them not even there, you know. Some of them gone on the other side, you know. But they have made significant contribution to my growth and my development, you know. Some I met physically, some I never meet them, but it is never ever I, it is always us. I don't like to use the word I because it's us.
Yeah.
You know? The only time I mention I is the responsibility that I take for myself, you know, to show respect for life and all the others who made that contribution and continue, you know, to give support to the works that we are doing, because it's not my work, you know, it's our work.
It's our work. Yeah.
And what struck me earlier on 10-Star General, You Got Me. I don't know where you find that tune there, you know, but me I say, it's a song I never even want to play because you decide to me not go voice it over back. But after me I listen to the song, me I say, wait.
Which one you thought now?
Is it Don't Ask My Neighbor?
The same one you Don't Ask My Neighbor. Jabby.
My favorite. That's what I wanted to hear again, because that's one of my, because of all the Emotions, I believe, was the first people to do that song. And I love that song. And I said, oh, I-Maa-Ra, you do it too? Loved it. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, like I say, I don't just verbalize it. You know, anything that I-Maa-Ra does and has done in the past, I bought everything, you know. And how I found that particular song, because I went into my catalog and only a few songs came up. But then over the years, I realized you've changed your name from I-Maa-Ra. You changed that to I-M, which is capital M-A-A-R-A. And then I realized I have some songs under 2 different names, and I'm like, weird, where this one come from?
Yeah. The reason for that is that I-Maa-Ra, this last mean I see the light. The first one mean strength. See?
Right.
So we grow. We don't change name, you know, we grow.
Right. Oh, it's an evolution.
Yeah, it's an evolution.
I hear that. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to end the show with 2 songs, okay? I'm just going to play, you know, a few seconds of each song, and we're going to end the show. Next week, we have 2 phenomenal people on our show. We're going to have one of the biggest magazine owners out of Canada, and we're going to have one of the sweetest voices out of the UK coming on our show next week. So you have to just join us to find out who those people are. So I-Maa-Ra, you've been given the 10-star salutes.
Salute 10-star. Salute Sharon. Salute Salute Maestro. Salute Galaxy 12. Salute.
Bless everyone that was part of the show. Thank you.
Yeah, salute. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Yeah. Yes, baby. You see, love is the feeling I've got for you, and it's coming from deep inside. Can you feel my vibes? Just look into my eyes, and you will realize I'm mesmerized. Yes, 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 you see it. I want to love you more each day. There's so much I've got to say. Emotion running wild. I'm captured by the smile on your face. Yes, yes, yes. You got me going. You got me going, baby, baby. You got me, I wanna share my joy with you. I'll do anything for you. I'll take more time to know and let this love tree grow and bear the fruits of life for you and I. Yes, yes, yes. You got me going, baby. You got me going. You got me going, baby.
Greetings, Brown giving full endorsement to Talking Promotion, right out there, radio. The station with integrity, the station with a difference. Remember me tell you, Live Brown says so. Full Darcy. Talking Promotion, right out there, radio. We not stop till we drop. Zane, blessed.
It is a leader.
We're gonna get out of here.
It is so bitter when you're back against the wall and before you reach the iron bars. I'm warning. It is so bitter when you're back against the wall and before you reach the iron bars. See, peeping through the rain, peeping through the bars. We can't see the moon and we can't see the stars. While out the street, my brethren them a war. I'm wondering if they're not looking far. Cause it's so bitter when you're back against the wall and before you miss the iron bars. I'm warning, it is so bitter when you're back against the wall and before you miss the iron bars. See, all top shatters just like the machine. We fed up by the war, we don't want a bloody stream. I peace officer, cool down your temper. The Gideon it red a blaze like fire. It is so bitter when you're back against the wall and before you waste the iron bar.
Well, that's all, folks. That's my line. Step aside, babe. Let a star do this. That's all. That's all, folks.
Can I go home now?
I'm 10-star General from Stockade Promotions, and I'm out of here.